just having an average sleepover, basically partying down.
I do tend to stay at home with my children and be there for them and bake the cookies and do the room mother bit. But I've also learned that you can't be everywhere with your child. Once that child is out of diapers and they're going to school, you do have to let go somewhat. Give me a hug and be good, okay? Okay. Give me a hug.
Marcia Oliver left her youngest son, Fletcher, alone inside the house watching television, while 9-year-old Tristan and his 11-year-old brother, Leighton, played outside with their friends.
I'm going to the store. Okay, they off the garage door.
I waved goodbye in the car and told the children I'd be back in about 15 minutes. They're achievers in school. They make good grades. They're not troublemakers. Occasionally we find one up a tree and we have to pull them down. But I wouldn't trade raising boys for anything in the world.
Hey, you guys! Got an idea! Follow me! There, take this. Get some logs!
What are you gonna do?
What do you want? Right about here.
One of the boys at the Olivers' house that day was 13-year-old Jim Morello.
Leighton decided to quit playing war and to start fires by his fort. Leighton's the kind of guy who likes to take risks. He does things that normally I wouldn't do, and I'm a lot bigger than him.
Tristan Oliver also went along with his older brother's plan.
Actually, I didn't think much of what was going to happen. We just started putting those sticks, pine cones, leaves, all sorts of stuff.
Just enough to use to make that fire. I mean, there's no paper or anything.
Leighton thought of the gasoline.
Not too many.
Yeah, school trip just in case too.
No, Mom will kill us if she finds out. Don't worry, she won't be back for a while.
I was like, well, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. I didn't think anything like real serious would happen because he was using just a little amount of gasoline.
Could get in trouble. Don't worry about it. Say so, but I ain't getting busted for it.
The flames would get maybe 1 to 1.5 feet high. We'd step on it or put it out or flip it over so no one would get hurt.
I just thought it was kind of fun because we just put the fire out. And they said, well, this isn't enough gasoline. It's not spilling up at all.
Stop! Let's make a bigger one! Put the pot back, that's it. We're just gonna use a little bit, okay? Don't worry about it. Wait till I get back to it. We'll put it out. Darling!
Leighton was waving his arms, and I told him to drop on the ground. 3 weeks beforehand in home economics, I learned to put a fire blanket or any kind of covering over anybody who was on fire.
Jimmy smothered the flames on Leighton. And I just thought fire opposite water. Took him over to the faucet and turned the water on.
I went to the back door, which was locked, and I remember that Mrs. Oliver said to go through the front door if we needed anything. So I went inside and called 911.
Jim's call came into the Aurora 911 Communications Center.
911.
It was all like a dream. It happened so fast.
Ambulance needed 834 West Main.
834 West Main. Deeper explosion. A child is on fire running down the roadway. Medics are...
Rescue units with the Aurora Fire Department were immediately dispatched to the scene. Paramedic Joe Bartholomew was among those who responded.
Children have a curiosity about fire. The problem with playing with gasoline is that they don't understand what's going to happen. The vapors spread out, and all that vapor will ignite. And there's no way that you could put that gas can down in time before it explodes.
Wait,
His chest looked like wax, like he was a wax figure and someone just lit him in the middle of his body.
I just stayed with Leighton, crying my eyes out, just worrying about him. I thought that Leighton would die, for sure.
We heard Engine 7 go on the scene maybe a minute to 30 seconds prior to our arrival. They called back and said that definitely we have the kid and that we're going to need all the burn packs.
All right, we got an ambulance coming. Easy, stay down.
The water well has a ability of pulling the heat out. And if you can pull the heat out as quick as possible, you're going to lessen the degree of the burn.
Paramedic trainee Tony Nelson was assisting in the ambulance that day.
You could have heard him down the block. He probably still felt like he was on fire. This is the worst case I've ever seen. We couldn't start an IV on him because all the normal sites for us, they were compromised already from the burns.
He had a polyester sweatshirt on. It just keeps burning and it melts as it burns. It becomes a hard, crusty material. So you have to get it away from the body as quick as possible. And the hard problem is getting through it.
Hang in there.
He wanted to know if he was going to die. It wasn't my job to tell him that he wasn't going to die, but I couldn't tell him anything else. I couldn't hold him. I couldn't hold his hands. I couldn't give him anything to grab because his hands hurt so bad. All I could do was just soak him down and tell him, if you feel like screaming, you go ahead and scream. He did. And he said some things a little boy shouldn't say, but in his situation and the pain that he was in, I would not hold it against him.
At Mercy Center Hospital, Leighton was treated by a trauma team, including nurse Linda Hemmingson.
We really felt a tremendous sadness, that feeling that he was burned so severely that he probably wasn't going to make it. We all go home and hug our kids a little bit extra when we've gone through something like that.
As soon as Leighton's mother got back to the house, she was rushed to the hospital.
I thought Leighton was in terminal condition and was about to die. So I did want to say a few words to him.
Hi, sweetie, it's all right. No one's angry. It's just an accident.
If my son saw me hysterical in there, he would know the extent of the damage. So I kept myself in control till I got out of the room. There was plenty of time to cry later, believe me.
While Leighton was airlifted the 30 miles to the nearest burn unit at Loyola University Medical Center, his parents could not go with him and had to drive themselves.
I don't really remember a lot of the conversation because one or the other of us would start to cry and couldn't see to drive the car. So we'd pull over and whoever's not driving gets in and drives again.
He was my son. He couldn't die. He's my firstborn. I lost count of the amount of prayers I said, and very similar to saying, please God, let me take some of his pain away from him.
Intubated number 6. He's got 2 liters of fluid on board.
I would ask them, what are the extent of the burns? They started at 40% full thickness burns and worked their way up to 65%. All Leighton had left was muscle on his neck and shoulders.
Looks like partial to full thickness on his face.
And we told the parents that he might die.
Lower extremities are
Dr. Diane Data was part of the medical team that treated Leighton.
The skin is a barrier to infection, and once it's destroyed from the burn, the patient can very easily get infected.
You just let us do the work.
Do it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Hi, it's Dr. Rao again.
Leighton was placed in the intensive care unit and attached to a respirator. His family and friends began the tense wait to see if his body would be able to fight off infection.
His chest, both of his arms, and most of his face.
His mother does, she thought. But although she'd used the freshest frogs, the spell did not work. I read to Leighton constantly when I was in the room. To hear my voice, I thought might soothe him a little bit. It was difficult because the one thing I wanted to do was pick him up off the mattress and hold him, and I couldn't do that. I really shouldn't have been touching him, although I did sneak a kiss on his toes every so often. No one was hurt.
Miraculously, Leighton slowly recovered. He was transferred to Shriners Hospital in Cincinnati. There, he underwent a skin graft and his life became a painful cycle of bandage changes and physical therapy. Before he could be released, his mother had to be trained to do the necessary daily therapy.
The thing that happens to a burn patient is they tend to contract downward. So you're always trying to extend their arms, extend their neck. He screamed just about straight through the exercises for about 4 or 5 months.
She just wouldn't let me quit, and she keeps moving forward.
It's only been a year since Leighton Oliver was burned.
He's a gutsy boy, he really is. To make his arms move again, get his fingers moving again. I didn't think he'd be able to write again. He's got his, I suppose, that little bit of arrogance back, which is good.
My dad helped me learn meditation, and it relieved a lot of the pain. I do many sports I can get my hands on. I wrestle with my brothers, for instance. I'm just about as good as I was before. It's my usual everyday moves.
I don't know the name of his friend, but that's a friend for life because he saved him. If he hadn't have thought about what he was taught when we do our school drills with the kids of stop, drop, and roll, I think he'd be dead.
A lot of people think I'm a hero, but I don't think I am because it was the first thing that went into my mind was to cover him with something.
Absolutely, he's a hero. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jimmy.
If there's one thing I've learned, it's that gasoline should be locked up just like the chemical pesticides. Children think they're immortal, and it doesn't wear off until they have a really terrible scare.
I'm taking flying lessons. I will probably be a pilot for flying kids like me back and forth to the Shriners, volunteering.
I see Leighton's future as extremely bright.